Welcome back, folks, to World of Warships Legends. I'm Soopa-Dave, and today I'm giving you a guide on my 600th ship, Castilla. We just got the project done. We took it out. Listen, I have done fantastic with these Spanish cruisers, and I love them, and this one is no different, all right? We are using Pascal to Pete as the commander with Membelli and Yamamoto for the extra AP penetration, and we're using Ingenious for the gun turret traverse, and then also telling you how many people are aiming at you, which is very handy in this ship, more than even the other rest of the line. Forward command, because you're going to be spotted most of the time, and on second thought. I wouldn't use strategic premonition, but you can if you want. I prefer getting the extra 5% reload, and then the shell switching type, because there is going to be times where you're going to want to flip your shells over and use HE. Lean into the AP on these ships, okay? You'll do more effective damage with them. That being said, we're also taking Fixated and Refill Station. Now, I know some of you will want to take Honorable Sacrifice. If you do to get one more ready rack, you can, but you're literally just taking all it is if you have a maxed out commander, it's the same as taking Refill Station, except for um, you're losing some health, and at least with Refill Station, you get some range when you're near allied ships. But that 40%, that's literally just a 10% buff to reload. So statistically speaking, like if you want to take this to get 3, you can. But factually, statistically speaking, it's worse to take Honorable Sacrifice. All right. If you want to do it, you can. I could see the appeal to it of having 3. But most times, if you're not going to dev strike whatever it is in 3, you're or in 2, you're probably not going to dev strike it in 3 anyway. So I take Refill Station out with extra range once in a while. Anyway, that being said, for our our modifications, we're taking Aiming Systems Mod 1, Prop and Concealment as always, and Main Battery Mod 3, and you can upgrade it if you would like. Now, for your consumables, you have two repairs because you're not taking fully packed generally. If you want, I mean, you could. They're not bad heals. There's nothing wrong with them. I just think getting the reload down on the ship is what really helps it. Sonar is a good sonar. It's 5 kilometers, so you can do quite a bit with that, right? And then you have 3 catapult fighters. You could also take defensive AA, but don't. It's legendary tier. You're not gonna run against carriers anyway too often, and it's not like this thing's got the world's greatest AP. Survivability, 56,000 health, which is very good. I mean, that's only what 3,000 less than Alaska. But you're not as tanky as Alaska. Don't get misconstrued there. You're not as tanky as Alaska. Main guns, you have 9 10-inch guns. And these things are fantastic. With just doing the 2 ready rack reloads, you're at 17 seconds on this build. Your main turret versus 23, which is not too bad for a super cruiser. The accuracy is great. The dispersion is great. The HE, a hair underwhelming, but if you wanted to go the HE route on this ship, you could. I could understand that. I would definitely stick with the AP myself or lean into it. I feel like it's way more effective, and you're doing effective damage, right? Like you're with the AP, you're doing damage that is more likely to stay, whereas, fire damage is pretty easy to heal back. And do not mistake this AP, even though the alpha number isn't the biggest in the world. These armor penetration values are the exact same, basically, as Alaska, okay? In Puerto Rico and a lot of the other super cruisers. You can, and a lot of times will, catch you off guard what you can Citadel with this. In fact, the one match that you guys might see another day, we Citadel Montana at like 16 kilometers with this thing. Um, so We did that on stream. So if you guys do not underestimate the AP on this ship, it is fantastic, man. Um, and for your secondaries, there's not much there, and it is out at 5.8, as you can see. Torpedo launchers, 8 kilometers, 62 knots. They're not bad. But you got 5 per side, and honestly, if you get a chance to use them, these things could come in handy. In AA defense, it's not awful, but it's really not that great either, right? You're not going to run up a lot of carriers against at legendary tier anyway for the time being. Maximum speed 37 knots, pretty good. Turning circles not awful, and the rudder's not awful. So average turning circle rudder, but the speed is very good. And concealment not ideal at 11.7. But that is what it is. Statistics, believe it or not, and I've had some of the roughest destroyers in front of me, and you guys are going to see it. I am doing very well on this ship, and it's a Spanish cruiser line. Every ship in the Spanish cruiser line, I have between a 80 or 75 and 100% win rate, and it's no different on this ship. All right. Um, a lot of people may not like this line. I'm one that does, and I think it's because I go with AP and I lean into the AP, and it's very solid. Okay, I have had some rough destroyer player in front of me in this, not ripping on them, but to be this successful with the destroyers that we've had, and I mean we've had 3 destroyers just park behind islands in this thing. Um, and then you guys are gonna see the 3 other matches. Okay, so you do what you can in this ship, and you can see I've survived all but 2 battles in this, and it's in my potential damage is what you get in a battleship, right? 900,000. Like people are trying to kill me. This ship you can angle to a lot of stuff, and the main guns are accurate. And what do I mean by that? So you have the side plating of 30 right up here, there and there we go. The side plate of 30. What does that mean, and why is that number important? Because you can angle to anything that has less than 18-inch guns, and people are not realizing that in this ship. It's not Alaska, but it is tanky. All right. Now, if you give up too much broadside or something's got bigger than 18-inch shells, yeah, not good, right? It's a raised citadel. Um, and then also you have a 25 millimeter bow, which battleships overmatch, but you have that extended belt of what is it, 40? Yeah, 40. So you're okay with that extended belt. It's tougher than it looks, but that doesn't mean be dumb with it. Okay. But something with 18-inch guns, like Ohio or whatever it is, this is what they're aiming at. And that torpedo protection, all it does is make sure they don't overpin. That's a tiny citadel, really, or narrow, I should say. And you would think it would get overpinned. It doesn't because of these little extra layers of armor, all right? Unless you're super close. If you're really close, you will get overpinned. But I've had fun in this ship, as you can see before we get into our matches where we just have destroyers absolutely parking behind islands or behind me. But you know what? The ship is good enough that you can still do a lot with it. In fact, we had a match where we held off our good friend Speedy in that one in his division, which was a tough match, right? It wasn't the world's most amount of damage. Sometimes you got to do what you got to do. And this match is going to be no different. You guys are going to see 2 matches. This first one, taking what you can get. Our destroyer, again, for the 4th time, is sitting just right behind an island. All right? So, we got to be careful what we do here. And when this happens, and I wanted to showcase this match because the second match is going to be awesome damage and craziness, right? But the first match here is taking what you get, right? We know there's a Michelangelo here. We know there's a destroyer because we're spotted already. And we're assuming there's some sort of battleship over here, right? We don't know yet, but that's what we know. So we're not going to just go full tilt in, and we got to be very careful. And our destroyer is still sitting behind the island 2 minutes later, right? We're not, you can go off of, we take, the shot comes at us, we obviously turn out so we don't get absolutely wrecked. But knowing that we do not have the world's best destroyer, not ripping on him, just using this as an example, we know we're going to turn out. And then, of course, then the Holland gets spotted. We're going to go ahead and switch over to HE, try to get a shot on this Holland. This Holland is going to be actually quite funny in this match here. But we're just taking what we can get, right? Now, to be fair, I should have probably sonared before this because I should have known, yep, there's torpedoes coming at some point. That's on me. That's going to be my daily Dumb Dave moment, right? If I had sonared, I wouldn't have eat them torps. In fact, they were probably meant for when I was just sitting there. Again, my Gumo behind the island, right? So at this point, we know we are up Pooh River at the start of this match. And like I said, this was all of my matches, and I've been able to still win almost all the matches with like a 2,200 base average, I think we've had. So not bad when you consider what we're given. So we're going to hold that shot off. And had I known that this Holland was going to play as passive as he did, and also this was my first entire match with this ship, I would have been more aggressive in this ship. I would have actually pushed out because this match I was leaning a little bit more into the HE than I normally would. You can see Borgo was angled, right? Also, we have a destroyer here and a Michelangelo. And with that being said, he can break secondaries with the HE. And we did get a perma-fire on Borgo, but we're not going to be able to get a fire, so we switch back over to HE. And you're going to see a lot of shell switching type. You can see my frustration with that. But had I known the way this was going to play out, I would have actually been more aggressive. Especially because this being my first match, I wasn't sure on how tanky this ship is, and it is much tankier than it looks if you angle. So we're going to get the perma-fire on Borgo. To be honest, if we'd been using AP that whole time, it probably would have been a better outcome. You're going to see that in our next match. Our next match is going to be a really solid one, right? But right now you can see two battleships. There's another battleship working its way over. And Armine Gumo decides he wants to go behind another island and on another island vacation. And I'll be honest, it's a Gumo, right? Like, I've talked about it recently. They have become the new Z41 for bad players. And somehow this Z44, or this Gumo, allows a Michelangelo to spot him. Like, how you just let a Michelangelo sneak up on you, man. Like, you knew where he was. So we're going to drop some torpedoes out there. And then also he misses almost all his torpedoes. At, what, 2 kilometers? He hits one of his torpedoes. We're going to switch over to HE. Just because we know probably taking that torp, or what he should have ate more torps, is we're going to get a fire at bare minimum. But he does go down. So, again, one of them scenarios where in this match, I wish I had leaned into AP a little bit more. Holland gets spotted. We're going to take a shot at Holland. But Holland's going to be quite obnoxious. And our two destroyers over here, they are not going to do anything against this Holland. Alright. Both of these destroyers if the Mangumo wasn't rough enough, actually, that I think it was a Gdansk or a Katanas is going to end up actually being lower than our Mangumo, actually. But you can see we launched some HE at Navarre to break some secondaries and possibly get a fire started. Again, I wish I had loaded AP. That Navarre would have been a lot more hurt had I done that. He actually goes ahead and hits the island, so we're going to throw some more out on him, and we do get a double fire, but he does, in fact, damage con it. And that's the one thing with using HE out of these ships. This whole line is a lot of times it's nice to get 2 ready wrecks or whatever, or you can do more if you want. But in reality, your HE is going to get damage conned, or a lot of times it will trigger fight fire with fire. Now, we didn't get a shot over here at Holland, but you would think with these 2 destroyers, this Holland would go down pretty easily, especially with the Katanas here. And we're going to take a shot here at Katanas, or at Holland, and you can see we have 4 pins, so he's got no health left. And our destroyers do not finish him off, right? We actually go to chase him down. We can't catch him, even with our speed. But you're going to see our team is all of a sudden going to whittle away really bad here. And we're just dodging and weaving for torpedoes. And our team it's going bad for our team here. And what we got to do here now is we're going to do whatever we can to win this match, right? We haven't had spotting. We haven't had, you know what I mean? We haven't had a whole lot from our destroyers, so it's in our hands now. And we're going to go ahead and take a shot. I should have switched over to HE on this shot, because Holland would have been dead here. As you're going to see, we get 4 overpins there. And if we had HE loaded, he would have been dead there, but he would have really been for sure dead on this shot. Our other destroyer goes down. As you can see, we did get another 3 hits on him, but because we had AP there, we should have switched over to HE. He would have been dead, and that might be what hurts us, right? Again, not the world's most biggest damage game, right? But I need to do whatever we need to do to win. And we're up against 4 ships, 2 of them being destroyers right now. We pop out. I'm trying to force him back into the smoke, because I want to take out Janan before Mino gets exploded, right? Because that's not good for Mino. We have our sonar going. Obviously, knowing with Janan there's going to be torps at some point, and we're looking to get to our cap because we are still losing, right? And we do want to push right now. Now, I notice a destroyer or a cruiser behind. As you can see, we switch over to our HE because we learned our lesson on Holland. You can see that there is a Minotaur behind us. And the one thing is with these 10-inch guns is you obviously can wreck Mino no matter where he's at, right? So we know torpedoes are coming, so we're going to start dodging and take shots at Mino because it's going to hurt given the right opportunity. Now, to be fair to Mino, he's actually going to, we're going to get a bad salvo out of that, and he's going to, I think he had a heal or something. At this point, I was really trying to worry about where the torps were coming. And we know we have a second set left because it is Z44. And the Mino is not going to get this lucky or that lucky, is we're going to go ahead and push in. Now, Z44 has no choice. He's got to try to stop points or kill one of us. He's definitely got to try to kill one of us. And he's got no torpedoes left, and both of these destroyers are in a rough spot. We have HE loaded. You can see we obviously probably would have killed him if we had more time, but we don't. So we almost took out 2 destroyers in that match. Almost. Not a world's greatest game, but we made the decision making there at the end to win that match. That was on us, right? Second match. This is where you guys are going to see a little showcase of the power. Because this ship, in the right scenario with the right teammates, again, I don't play divisions. And so when you get the matches where you can get some people to spot for you, like we had two matches that were just really crazy games, like almost 200K in these. You guys are gonna see the one. I'm gonna have the other one down the road for another lesson because it's a good lesson of rotation. You're gonna see we're gonna switch shells a few times here. I kind of expected Wami to go broadside and he doesn't. And then you're gonna see once I realize he's eating the at least a torp here. I'm going to switch back over to HE because we did actually get a fire on him too. So, again, this is going to showcase the issues I have with the HE, right? We shatter half of our shells, we do one fire. We have a good reload. We do have one fire going, but then, you know, with only one fire, we're going to go ahead and throw another set on him, HE. And we set the fight fire with fire, and that just happens a lot. Either they damage con it and you don't get another fire, or you set fight fire with fire because you're sending so many shells downrange with it. It's why I don't... If I had just shot AP, this guy would have had a lot rougher time and would have been gone way quicker. I mean, we did what? How many salvos there? Like four or six salvos. I can't remember. Probably 6. And you're going to see AP is going to do that in way less than that on a battleship coming up. So right now, our cruiser's gotten himself in a little bit of trouble there, but still, he's alive. And we're trying not to be the center of attention. Colbert takes a couple pop shots at us. I'm not really concerned. It's a Colbert. You're going to eventually get a broadside of Colbert. Proyston. Get spotted, we're going to switch over to HE. Now, this is the one time where I would recommend HE is a good one because he's not broadside enough to actually get a good advantage of him. And we're going to go ahead and get one fire. So now you're going to see the HE kind of work. And for the most part, the rest of the time, the AP is going to be what we lean on because I get a little bit frustrated, right? We're going to take another shot here with our ready rack. Get him loaded. Or get reloaded. We're going to get one fire going. And he's going to start to back up. I'm going to check him with a torp. So having torps on this ship is handy just for things like that to see where he's going. We know he's backing up, so we're going to send a shell right over the back. Get another fire. So we have 2 on him right now. And he's going to start to move forward. Now, I am going to have another Daily Dumb Dave moment here because I'm just thinking this guy is not going... I haven't been spotted in a while, so he doesn't think I'm here. He shoots his guns off, as you can see, so we go ahead and take off. Proyson's got a quick reload. And I didn't expect Colbert to spot us. But that's okay, because Colbert... Not gonna like what he's getting at him. As you can see, we absolutely maul him, and he would have got behind the island before we had another set. Anyway, we wouldn't have been able to shoot him. So you can see here, we take a nasty hit from Proyson, 1 Citadel, but 3 overpins, and then we're in the middle of the ship. I actually had to check replay, but look at this that damage that we just did with our AP. That was what, 40,000 damage with one salvo and a ready rack. Like, you guys can see the AP was definitely the way to go. Colbert gets finished off. It would have been nice on Colbert, obviously, to maybe get a to depth strike him, but to be fair, he did come in and then get behind the island, so there's not much we can do there. But you will absolutely wreck cruisers in this thing if they give you a broadside. And then you can see here again, Proyson. We're just gonna absolutely maul him with the AP. You can see that was another 20 right out the gate there, and within 2 sets of salvos, we just absolutely demolished Preußen. And without even getting citadels. And I probably should have aimed waterline. I didn't know that the stats were as good on the AP penetration. We probably could have done more damage had I low aimed waterline. Because this has the same AP value as Alaska. And guaranteed we probably could have done something. And then the first moment we get on another ship, because it was the third ship we hit, we get our high caliber. Just because it, our fourth ship, right? Because you got to hit 4 ships to get your high caliber. And we do on a Des Moines. Now, right here, we've been, pretty much in the fight. We still have a good chunk of our health left. I don't know what to expect out of this destroyer, but if we get too aggressive, we're going to lose the match. So we're just trying to be smart here. Shoot some AP down. Des Moines probably could have switched to HE there, but I thought Des Moines was going to panic. And he actually doesn't panic at all. He does a good job of staying, you know what I mean, not just running, sprinting broadside because he's spotted like some cruisers do. And we're going to go ahead and start to challenge this cap because it could go bad on us. As you can see, we're now tight on ships and losing caps. So it is actually a close match as our teammate does go down and eat a bunch of torps. We know there's a destroyer here, obviously, so we're going to go ahead and pop our sonar. And we do have HE loaded because of that. We get sonared or radared, which I'm not really too concerned about because the 2 battleships are really far away. Des Moines obviously can be a DPM monster, but we have such a health advantage on him. I'm not even worried, right? Like I'm not the least bit of concerned about Des Moines at all. In fact, I'm actually more worried about them 2 battleships to the left because Yamato overmatches me, obviously, which could be very bad. And they're the ones that can end me quickly. If Des Moines isn't going to end me as quickly as one of them 2 taking a really good shot at me. And we're going to back up here. Of course, then Gearing gets spotted. This Gearing, man, I've played this Gearing a few times. And this is one of the most frustrating destroyers to play with and against. I do not want to rip on him and call him out, but he always runs to the end of the map. And as we're going to take down Yamato here, as the cruiser went down, this destroyer is going to do the same thing every time I play with him. And he's just going to run to the absolute back of the map and waste 5 minutes of everybody's time. Right? We go right where we know he's going. And I can't remember his name. It's Animal Lover. Yeah, I know because I play him a lot. This is what he does. He hurts his team and then he runs to the back of the map every time. And it is super frustrating. And I really get tired of people doing that. Maybe I gotta start doing it because I'm like the only one that doesn't try to save my KD at the end of matches, I swear. But anyway, at top of the leaderboard here, solid match. Obviously doing an amazing job helping our team win. You guys have a wonderful day, and I will see you folks next time.